to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say Star hello. Wars.
Yay, Star Wars. No Scots, just me today. And today we're reviewing Star Wars Visions Volume 1, Episode 7, called The Elder. We will do a detailed recap of the episode, and then beg you for some feedback. Does that sound good? Let's start out with this.
Spoiler alert. Danger. You're about to be spoiled.
What that really means is if you haven't watched Episode 7 of Volume 1 Visions, please go back and do so, and come back and see us and complete this episode after you watched it. Because if you don't, you'll be spoiled. All right. So the cast and crew of many of these in Volume 1 are Japanese, and the names are hard for me to pronounce. So I apologize to anyone who is offended. But I'm going to butcher them. So the director is Masahiko Astiku. Writer is Masahiko Astia. The music is scored by Maruchi Oshima. In the cast, Dan Gaesh is played by Jordan Fisher. Tangerine Crosser is played by David Harbour. Old Man James Hong. Child number 1 is Maria Abdu. Child number 2 is Reina Anoma. And child number 3 is Anna Nagase. And that means we're going to have a little short break here and take care of our dome.
A word from our sponsors. Does your bald head take a beating from shaving, the sun, and all of the things Mother Nature throws your way? Do ladies look at your dry, sunburnt head and cringe? Well, guys, there's a new product out there in the head care market that promises to rock your head. I mean, dome.
Really?
Looks soft, clean, and touchable.
What
and
is
it's
it?
trending number 1 through social media and on YouTube. Introducing Dome Armor. It conditions with moisturizers like coconut oil and shea butter, protects with sunscreen up to SPF 45, and enhances your already sexy dome into an irresistible hands-on experience. Keep your dome safe and protected. Get Dome Armor, now available in fresh bacon scent.
What?
Sure to get the ladies to come running in fine stores like Walmart and Lowe's. Oh, and for those still struggling with minor hair loss, try Grow Gain. This product will refresh, revitalize, and regrow hair on your dome.
Yeah, need some of both. So today's episode, Vision, Star Wars Visions, Volume 1, Episode 7, The Elder. All the episodes in Volume 1 first aired on September 22nd, 2021. This particular one's running time is 15 minutes, 47 seconds, and takes place any time between 832 before the Battle of Yavin and 32 before the Battle of Yavin, which 832 is way before anything we've ever seen in the movies. It's kind of the High Republic era, I would say. And 32 before the Battle of Yavin is sometime around the Phantom Menace. So we've got that. So what that means is it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. A Jedi Master, Tajin Crosser, and his Padawan, Dan Gavish, patrol the Outer Rim territories in their starship as part of their duties and training. Dan bemoans the lack of action from traveling the Outer Rim, suspecting his master's purposely chosen so to give his master's reputation of being well-traveled in the galaxy. Tajin comments that Dan is too eager and that the seeds of misfortune, when in peaceful soil, can be easily overlooked. Regarding his choice of patrol, he is interrupted by sensing a disturbance in the Force. Dan suggests that it may be presence of Sith, but Tangerine encounters it as improbable since it has been hundreds of years since the Sith were destroyed. The pair decide to investigate the only inhabitable planet nearby, Habo. Tajin has previously been to Habo. Dan quips that Tajin's knowledge of the Outer Rim and says it is a privilege to be his Padawan. The two jump into hyperspace and head to Habo. After landing on Habo, Dan comments that the planet's beautiful forest and landscape. Tajin recommends that Dan try a local dish called Donon, which he describes as delicious. Tajin and Dan approach the native village. Tajin warns the locals are quite shy and advises Dan to wait. While Dan gains the trust of the village children, Tajin is able to find out from the villagers and an elder that a man from an unknown village has landed nearby with his starship and is taken to the mountains. The two share their suspicions on what awaits them and decide to split up to wait for the elder man's starship and to search for him in the mountains. Dan is guided by the village children on his investigations to the mountains, and Tajin is led to the starship by the villagers. Upon arriving at the starship, Tajin remarks to Dan via transmitter that he does not recognize the starship, but says it resembles one that is used by the Sith in hologram recordings. In the meanwhile, Dan traverses through the mountains terrain and concludes would be difficult for an old man to manage. He then discovers the carcass of Vamaga, which Tajin had previously warned were a dangerous creature if provoked. Dan sends the village children home as he investigates the carcass, noticing a clean lightsaber strike through the neck as the cause of death. After Tajin warns Dan that the elder man they seek may be dangerous, Dan turns around and is surprised by the presence of a cloaked figure behind him. The cloaked figure reveals himself as an old man. Identifying Dan as a Jedi, Dan questions the old man if he is Sith, to which the old man simply recounts how the Sith had lost their way due to infighting, which resulted in their own extinction. As Dan questions the old man's identity again, he is rebuffed by the old man, suggesting that they communicate with their blades instead of with words. The old man then brandishes two katana-shaped red lightsabers and charges at Dan. As Dan defends himself with his own lightsaber, the old man is disappointed at the lack of challenge Dan brings, revealing that he was hoping to attract the attention of Dan's master instead, and could do so by slaying Dan. He then delivers a grievous wound to Dan by slashing him across the abdomen. The old man sits patiently amidst the rain as he waits for Tajin to find his location. Upon arrival, the old man is pleased to feel Tajin is a greater presence of the Force. Tajin and the old man both brandish their lightsabers and duel, with the old man remarking in glee that he is fighting someone who is so strong and wishes he had found someone like Tangerine a long time ago during the peak of his talent. Tajin gains the upper hand when he is able to disarm one of the old man's lightsabers and cut it in half. The enraged old man uses his free hand to restore the force lightning, to resort to force lightning to even his odds. As Tangerine defends against the force lightning, the old man is about to slash with his remaining lightsaber from above. A still conscious Dan uses the force to throw his ignited lightsaber at the old man. Having no choice but to defend with his own lightsaber, the man leaves himself open for Tangerine to break from the force lightning and impales the man through the heart. Tangerine then runs to the injured Dan, and the old man detonates his starship as the last act before his body crumbles into ashes. After Dan is healed from his wounds, the Padawan and Master recount the details of the aftermath. They lament that the old man's starship has been destroyed, as they have nothing further to use in their investigation. Dan congratulates Tangerine on his victory, but Tangerine solemnly credits that time has been the major factor for defeating the old man, and fears the outcome may have been different if they faced the old man in his prime. He also concludes that time will only make himself weaker as well, and adds that it will make the young Dan stronger as he grows. He consoles Dan not to forget his training and his kindness. Tangerine allows Dan to say farewell to the children who were worried about his injuries. As Dan says farewell to the village children, Tangerine takes another hard look at the old man's remains. And the credits roll. So that's the end of our episode, and we want your feedback.
Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback, KyleJohansson.us.
That's right. That email address will work really well. If you want to send a video attachment, that'd be great. I think you're limited maybe, let's say 25 megabytes. And we also have a link on our website over there on that side of the website, left-hand side, that says feedback. That'll bring up on a form. You put out your Star Wars name, can be any name you want. And the next field will be your feedback. And just submit that to us, and we will get it right away. We also are available on social media on Twitter at super_duper_pod. And we are now available on Blue Sky. Just search for the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room. You can also leave us comments on Spotify and the video that we post at YouTube. So, go ahead and get those comments in. Let us know if you like what we're doing, what you don't like. Tell us about the specific episode that we reviewed. Give us your opinions. Tell us why you think this was a bad episode or a good episode. Passing the torch of from the master to the Padawan and so on. Otherwise, see you later.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast.
Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR KyleJohansen.us.
left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at rabr.kailjohansen.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle John Hansen. This is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
He's not here. Just me. So, goodbye now.